What's up YouTube? Welcome back to the channel. Today's video, I'm gonna be talking about sound design. Just last week, we uploaded a teaser for a recent wedding of ours that we shot out in Oregon. I can't play the teaser for you on YouTube because we use copyrighted music that only is for Instagram. So if you want to see the trailer, head over to Instagram and listen to it. It's a beautiful piece. We're very proud of it. We got a lot of DMs from you guys asking how I sound designed the teaser. And so in today's video, I'll be walking you through my process on how I sound designed that specific teaser and a few things about sound design that I think every filmmaker should know. Now, a little disclaimer before we get started. I am not a sound engineer. I am not a Foley artist. I'm none of those things. I'm a wedding filmmaker who is doing his best to wear multiple hats in post-production, like most of you. The first thing is a simple truth taught to me by a good friend of mine, Will Sarmiento. Will is one of the best editors I know and probably the king of wedding teasers, and he taught me that an edit should be able to live without music, meaning that the sound design should carry the edit enough where that if you muted the song, you could still watch it and enjoy it. And I thought that was very powerful. So, headphones are going on. For those wondering, these are the Sennheiser HD 650s. I love these headphones. They've been my go-to for editing for the last 2 years. So I'll have these on the remainder of this video. All right, let's dive in. So there's a lot of different ways to do it. I think the technically correct way is to have every layer of your audio mean something significant. So like one layer is all your dialogue, one layer is all your Foley, one layer is all your cinematic sounds, one layer is all ambiance, etc. I just color code my layers, and that allows me to have like 80,000 layers and tons of dead space where there doesn't need to be. I'm gonna mute the top 2 layers. The top layer is in-camera audio that I just didn't delete and didn't end up using or liking. I did drag some of the in-camera audio down into the sound design. And the second layer is the song, which I also can't play. Now the third layer is pretty fun. The third layer, I'll solo this. This is my reverb layer. I'm gonna talk about my reverb layer and then we'll start at the beginning and go shot for shot and kind of explain my process behind each shot. My reverb layer, I wanted some things to echo. There's a scene where the bride is seeing an engraving in her dress that corresponds to her daughter's name, and I wanted to hear the daughter's laugh echo, and a few other times I wanted sounds to kind of echo and reverb through, like so. You hear it echoing kind of throughout right there, and then echo. Hear it echo. And how I did that, go into your audio track mixer, pick the layer 3 we wanted, add an effect, studio reverb, and I raise the decay to max. So that's how. The thing is with that, you have to make sure that everything you want on that layer, because the reverb's applying to the entire audio track on A3, I have to lock that so I know not to put anything else in that layer that I don't want to echo. So that's important to know. Now, let's start with the beginning. To do that, I only used 2 resources. The main resource I used was the Wedding Sound Effects Pack. The Wedding Sound Effects Pack has 3 categories, has Foley, cinematic effects, and ambient noises. You have all types of different ambience. You have a bunch of cinematic sound effects, Super 8 film, risers, bass hits, trailers, a lot of slow whooshes, which I used a ton, and then lots of Foley. You know, it's designed for wedding filmmakers. So you have champagne glasses popping. You even have, footsteps in all these different locations, suit jacket going on, jewelry going on, a makeup brush, pen on paper, dress movements. So you have everything related to a wedding that you will need. We'll link that below as well. The second resource I used was the Film Score Sound Pack by Multiply Media, mainly for the melodic risers, the melodic hits, some of the drones, and so forth. I just right click and label these different colors. So all my ambient noises are in whatever color that is. All my Foley are in rose. All my risers or drones or piano hits are all in orange or mango. All my cinematic sound effects like whooshes or Super 8 sounds, that's all in violet. Any audio dialogue is in blue. So that's the color code is. So this first shot, it's a cliffside. I didn't want to overdo it. I wanted you to feel like you were on the cliff, right? So the 2 things you hear a lot is water crashing and then air, right? Wind, mountain air. So the 2 sounds we use there are mountain air and then a cliffside sound effect. That's what it sounds like. As the transition's about to happen, I want everything to kind of fade out. So you'll notice I kind of start fading everything out as that riser comes in. And this riser is a low reverse piano from the Multiply Media Sound Effects Pack, and it has different keys. And the way I found out what key to use is I plugged in my soundtrack, the music, into a website called TuneBat, I believe. And TuneBat analyzes your song and tells you what key that song is in. That way all my sound effects work in harmony. So I knew what risers to use because TuneBat told me that it was an E major. And so I went into the low reverse piano folder and I found the E chord, and that's what you're hearing there, just this sound. Just adds to the riser. That coupled with a whoosh sound effect from the wedding sound effects pack. Sounds like this. Now that is a inner fade transition. It's a company that creates these really cool, basically swipes and transitions. It had its own sound with it. I removed it and added my own. Thought it fit better. And then we get into the design, okay? So this first sound is a makeup brush. You just kind of hear the bristles hitting the cheek. And then I also wanted to, obviously, you know, when you're getting your makeup done, you're talking to your artist. I wanted to hear some of the makeup artist and bride conversations in the background. That's where this sound comes from.
Yeah, sorry, I have to hold this eyelash on.
And then she grabs her dress, and I removed all the sounds on this part because I wanted you only to hear the baby laughter, which I grabbed that sound bite, 2 sound bites from some old iPhone videos that they had of their baby. Again, now you're hearing some jewelry being put on. It's very faint, very quiet. I'll play just those sounds. You kind of hear the tinkling of jewelry along with dress movement because she's moving her arms to hear movement. You hear seagulls on this cliffside just for a brief second. More jewelry, dress movement. Dress movement, she flattens her dress. More whooshes. And this is a long drone shot because the way the music is, and so I actually have 4 layers here. I have a field sound effects. I wanted to kind of hear some like grass and birds. I have a beach sound effect, so I wanted to hear seagulls and waves crashing. I have an underwater sound effect. It's just, here, I'll just play, it's just underwater reverb. Just kind of add this additional element to the clip. And then on top of that, I have heavy mountain air. So 4 layers all working in harmony there. And then we have footsteps coming in, and I use our footstep sound effect pack of them walking through a field. I actually duplicated it so there's 2 sets of footsteps, slightly off-centered, so they sound like different sets of footsteps. Again, very faint. That's the way I like it. Sound effects kind of fade out as we transition scenes here. I have a very distant Super 8 film sound effect pack that we also include in the sound effects pack. And then I use some audio from their first look. I found a really cute snip of him saying, "I love you so much," and them crying. I put it on the reverb layer during this proposal scene that I got from them. And I thought it'd be powerful to go from the proposal to them now in their wedding attire, but the song wasn't doing anything for me. So I, again, went to an E major, into the multimedia sound effects pack, got a piano low note at E, and just had it hit on that important shot. And I think adding a piano note just to hit just kind of adds importance to a moment, right? Kind of weighs you down a little bit, and I love that. Coupled with a drone, which is called the Sunrise E major drone, which is just this sound. Just kind of this beautiful, radiant, I mean, it's called Sunrise, you kind of picture it, just kind of warms you up, right? It's just this beautiful drone in the background, and it played so well into this scene. Especially with the slow shutter going on here. And again, I added more sound effects, the reverb, more of him laughing in the distance, also came from their first look. Anytime there's silence, it's intentional, right? So I wanted there to kind of be a break from the sound as we lead into the next scene, right? So everything kind of slows down. The music is slowing down as well. Risers whooshes into lots of Foley of him moving his coat around. I believe this is, yep, the suit jacket sound effect, which works with the shirt as well. So that's what you're hearing there. Footsteps walking across wood. More Foley of him just kind of moving around. Suit jacket going on. The suit jacket actually worked insanely well. I saved this part where the suit peaks with obviously where the loudest movement of his suit coat will be. Again, another riser. This is the sharp ascent riser, also in the E key, with lots of whooshes. This is a car sound effect. Car passing sound effect. And now we're getting into ambience again, I should say. Forest, light air. I wanted it to all slow down and really draw you in. Kind of like in movies where like it gets quiet before an explosion. I wanted all the sound effects to kind of start slowing down a little bit before the chorus hit. Some walking sound effects. That's pretty much it. And then she approaches, he turns around. They have their first look. He cries. And And then this part that was beautiful, so I included just some laughing. And at the end here, we kind of slow back down. Music's starting to come to an end. I re-fade in some mountain air. Sounds like waves.
I love you, darling, like, hey, all this.
That's it. And they just laugh.
I wish I could rub my face like.
And that is how I sound designed that teaser. Hope that was helpful for you guys, kind of seeing me peel back the curtain and showing you what it took to kind of make the edit what it was. Just a beautiful edit, and I'm very proud of it. And I will be the first to admit that it wouldn't be what it was without the sound design. I think because color grading and visuals are just eye candy and it's easy to see and to recognize, they usually get most of the credit. And sound, you don't really see it, and so you don't really think about it. It should be more of a subconscious enhancer. And so I wanted to make this video to kind of give sound design the love it deserves and kind of challenge you all to spend an extra hour or two on your next teaser, your next film, just sound designing and adding more to every single shot, really layering the sound effects and really making every shot come to life in a way that it hadn't before. And again, if you want links to the wedding sound effects pack or the multimedia film score pack, I'll link those both as the top links below. But that is it for today, you guys. If you want to see the full teaser with music, it is on our Instagram at Runaway Vows, so head over there and check it out. But thank you so much for the love. Thank you for watching. We'll see you in the next one.